A French energy company just put a classified ad in the Sunday Gleaner. Buried in the business pages, it asked contractors, investors, and suppliers to help build something most Jamaicans have never heard of. A solar project designed to continue supplying electricity after sunset, using stored battery power and hydrogen. Not diesel, not imported gas. The company says its site in Jamaica could support more than 160 megawatts of solar power. If completed, it could become one of Jamaica's largest renewable energy developments. But here's what the ad does not say: where the land is, when construction starts, or whether this project has actually been approved by anyone. Today, we're breaking down what HDF Energy is actually proposing, why they picked Jamaica, and why their own track record in this region gives us real reason to read the fine print. Solar power has a built-in weakness. It stops at sunset. Batteries help for a few hours, but they get expensive fast when you try to store enough energy to run a grid for many hours or days. Jamaica has a stated goal tied to that gap. Government policy targets half the country's electricity from renewables by 2030. Right now, Jamaica is nowhere close, and most of the island's power still comes from imported fuel. That gap between the goal and the reality is exactly the space a project like this is trying to fill. The company behind this is HDF Energy, based in France and listed on the Euronext Paris Stock Exchange. Its Caribbean arm is based in Barbados. According to the company's own disclosure, HDF secured a significant piece of greenfield land in Jamaica back in April of this year, months before the public heard anything about it. The first real public confirmation came through an expression of interest dated late June, and a classified notice placed in the Sunday Gleaner. This isn't a company parachuting in overnight either. HDF has been meeting with Jamaican officials and attending regional energy forums here since 2022, so this is a slow courtship running close to 4 years, and the land deal is the first major milestone that has become public. What HDF has not disclosed is which parish the land is in. As of now, that detail simply isn't public. Strip away the jargon, and this is a 3-part system. Part 1 is the solar farm itself. HDF says the site could support panels with a peak capacity of more than 160 megawatts. That word peak matters. It means the maximum the panels could theoretically produce under ideal sunlight, not what the plant would actually deliver hour after hour. Real-world output is always lower than the peak number. Part 2 is battery storage, which captures extra electricity made during the sunniest hours and releases it quickly when demand spikes. Part 3 is what makes this different from every other solar proposal Jamaica has seen. Green hydrogen. When the panels produce more electricity than the grid needs, that surplus power runs a process called electrolysis, splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen gets stored. Later, when the sun goes down and the batteries run low, that stored hydrogen gets converted back into electricity through fuel cells. Think of it as a long-duration energy storage system. Instead of storing electricity directly the way a battery does, it stores energy in the form of hydrogen, which can later be converted back into electricity when it's needed. Batteries are good at short bursts. Hydrogen is built for something batteries struggle with, storing large amounts of energy for longer stretches without losing much of it. That's the pitch behind what HDF calls its Renewstable model. Solar during the day, batteries for the immediate gaps, hydrogen for everything in between, so the plant is designed to deliver steady power around the clock instead of only when the sun cooperates. Jamaica wouldn't be the only place betting on this either. Hydrogen has become a strategic priority worldwide because it can help decarbonize industries that are hard to electrify, like shipping and heavy manufacturing, and governments across several continents are pouring billions into it. That's a genuinely useful idea for an island that imports most of its energy. The question is whether the technology delivers on schedule and on budget. That's where HDF's own history in this region becomes useful, because we don't have to guess. We can look at what already happened next door. Jamaica has the basic ingredients this kind of project needs: reliable sunshine, a stated push toward renewable energy, and a location within reach of shipping and investment flowing through the wider Caribbean. But HDF isn't new to this region, and that gives us something to check its promises against. Its flagship Caribbean project is Renewstable Barbados, a similar solar hydrogen battery plant. When that project was first reported years ago, it was expected to be running around 2024. As of the most recent reporting, it's now due online in mid-2028, a slip of roughly 4 years, on a project smaller than what's proposed for Jamaica. It's also leaned heavily on outside support, including up to $41 million in green climate fund financing on a project valued at $169 million total. HDF also holds a majority stake in a hydrogen project in Trinidad, but that one supplies hydrogen to an existing ammonia plant, not a power grid, so it isn't really comparable to what's being pitched here. None of that means the Jamaica version is doomed to repeat Barbados's timeline. A delay in one market doesn't automatically repeat in another, and if this technology eventually works the way it's designed to, Jamaica would be looking at a genuinely new kind of power plant on this island, one that doesn't go dark when the sun does. Like many project developers, HDF generates relatively little recurring revenue, since its business model is built around developing and financing projects, not operating plants that are already selling electricity. That's normal for this industry. Still, the numbers are worth a look. Group-wide revenue fell to under €1 million in 2025, down from about €11 million the year before, and most of that prior figure came from a single one-off equipment sale. The company posted a net loss of close to €6 million last year, and cash on hand dropped to around €33 million. These are the parent company's overall financials, not money set aside for Jamaica specifically. But a project this size is a lot for a company this size to fund alone, which is part of why Barbados needed development bank money. A similar structure here wouldn't be unusual, and that kind of backing could bring capital and technical oversight. Jamaica wouldn't have to provide itself. Let's be precise about where this stands today. What exists right now is an expression of interest. In HDF's own words, as currently disclosed, this notice does not constitute a procurement process, an offer, or any kind of commitment. A preliminary environmental review has started, a grid study is still to come, and no power purchase agreement has been signed. Separately, Jamaica's generation procurement entity is running its own tender for up to 220 megawatts of renewable generation and battery storage. It's not confirmed whether HDF's project connects to that at all. These are two different processes on two different tracks. So the honest headline isn't Jamaica is getting a new power plant. It's a company with a mixed regional track record wants permission, partners and financing to try building one. That earlier stage also means nothing is locked in yet, which leaves Jamaica room to negotiate terms on jobs, training and local participation before any contract is signed. If this moves forward, the payoff could be real. Less imported fuel, a genuine step toward that 2030 target, and construction work across engineering, electrical trades, and local supply chains. But getting there means clearing real hurdles. Environmental approval, a grid study confirming the system can handle this much new power. Financing at a scale HDF hasn't shown it can raise alone. a construction timeline that survives more than one hurricane season, and a piece of land whose location the public still doesn't know. Clear even half of that list, and Jamaica moves measurably closer to breaking a decades-long dependence on imported fuel, the same dependence that's kept the island exposed to every swing in global oil prices. That's the prize on the other side of these hurdles. Securing land is a real milestone, but it's only one of many still ahead, and Barbados shows that gap can stretch for years. Jamaica doesn't need another headline about clean energy. It needs power plants that actually get built, on budget and on schedule. HDF's pitch is genuinely interesting. Solar during the day, hydrogen filling the gaps at night. A real answer to a problem that stalled renewable energy here for years. But right now, this is a company asking Jamaica to invest in a technology that has yet to be demonstrated at utility scale anywhere in the Caribbean. The land is secured. The money, the approvals, the grid, the timeline are all still open questions. If those answers land in the right place, Jamaica could end up with a genuine template for the next generation of power projects on this island, not just this one plant. We'll keep following this project as new information comes in. If you want to understand where Jamaica's energy future is actually headed, subscribe.